Welcome into the broadcast, everybody listening on Hockey TV, as well as the Jacks audio-only feed over on their YouTube live channel. My name is Mike Wazinski, the voice of the Odessa Jackalopes for this 2021-22 campaign. And boy, an understatement right now for what this game means for both teams. The Jacks coming in tied for fourth place in points with the Shreveport Mudbugs, but technically due to point percentage, because Shreveport has played one less game than the Jacks, they have that final playoff spot. So the Jacks would be the first team out, but chasing them and in the rearview mirror by 4 points is this Amarillo Wranglers squad, who are trying to turn the tide here in 2022. Recently were on an 11-game losing streak and are now on a streak of 2 games after their weekend sweep over last place El Paso Rhinos. That has jumped them from 7th now to 6th. They are 1 point ahead of 7th place Corpus Christi, who has played 50 games, the most out of the South Division. So still a lot of hockey for both of these two teams. 24 potential points is on the line, as there's still 12 games left in the 60-game season. And boy, am I glad to be back on the mic here at the Ector County Coliseum. It's been over a month. The Jacks only had 3 home games throughout the month of February, and it was the first weekend series with that 3-3 series that started off with Lone Star and finished out with Corpus Christi. The Jacks so far in the month of March 0-2 and are riding a season-high losing streak of 5 games, 0-4-0-1, but it is something that, of course, can really kind of bring a team back to reality and humble a team. They, throughout the entire regular season, have picked up a point in every weekend series except for last weekend, and that is what kind of gives them that tie right now with the Mudbugs for that final playoff spot. Them and Shreveport only 3 points back of third place Wichita Falls, who the Jacks will host here at the Jack Shack next weekend. Both games again 7:15 p.m. puck drop here from Odessa, Texas. So throughout the rest of the regular season, very important games, can't be taken any lightly, of course, from either side, as the Jacks will see some non-playoff teams as well as some playoff teams. Still 4 games against New Mexico to come up, another weekend series against Amarillo in April, as well as another weekend series against Wichita Falls, and again next weekend against Wichita Falls, but the start of April against the Shreveport Mudbugs. So the Jacks have a lot of opportunities to really kind of keep climbing the ladder here and earn their first playoff spot in the last 3 seasons. The Wranglers, the visiting team, will be in their white jerseys, as the Jacks are wearing specialty jerseys. Shriners Weekend here in Odessa, Texas, as there will be a live jersey auction following the conclusion of game number 2 tomorrow over in the concourse by the main doors of the Ector County Coliseum. The visiting team, the Wranglers, will be starting with their first line of Aidan Carney, and then that dual threat of Glems Prohorinkovs, the Niagara University commit from Riga, Latvia, and his right-wing partner, also from Riga, Latvia, and the UNH commit, Kristaps Skrastins, who is in the top 10 for goals, or for points, I should say, in the entire NAHL, but also in goals. He's got 30 under his belt, and he leads the team in points. Him and Prohorinkovs over 40 points. The next player in a Wranglers jersey in points for third place is 23. So clearly those two on that top line really look to make teams, the opposition, pay for it, and they do so on the man advantage, but more on that later. On defense, the Wranglers are going with Bryson Russell from Palmyra, PA, and on his right side will be Jaden Jensen. And between the pipes will be a new goaltender in this season series between these two teams, Carter Clafton from Grand Rapids, Minnesota. As backing him up will be Max Guchar, who has played in all the season series between these two teams. He has been in a little bit of a lull for the Wranglers. His last win, actually, came back on January 8th, the last time these two teams saw one another. Again, that was a January 7th and 8th meeting, and they split. So far, the season series in the terms of the Jacks' eyes is 2-2. And there's been some lopsided games back and forth, and only one exceeded the past 60 minutes. That was an overtime victory for your Jackalopes. On defense, or I should say for the Jackalopes now, they will be going with their last line. On offense, Ryan Mansfield, Ryan Kusler, and Daniel Begier. Ryan Mansfield is my player to watch for the Jacks. It was Carter Clifton for the Wranglers. Again, he has kind of been lights out, 4-1 in his last 5 games. Carter Clafton now on a 3-game winning streak so far. He's going to have to obviously see a lot of shots, and the Jacks have scored in all 48 games this season, and that really bodes well, especially as they get production from top to bottom in those lines. On defense, they will be going with John Wojciechowski and Trevor Tallene, and between the pipes for the 3rd straight start will be Alex Proctor. The Wranglers have 16 players that are at least registered at 6 feet tall, and they have 10 players that are in their final year of junior eligibility. As for the Jacks, they have 14 players that stand at least 6 feet tall, and they, however, only have 4 players that are in their final year of junior eligibility. So, of course, the depth is there for the Jacks, especially as they look to go beyond just this season. Head coach Scott Dewar, brand new head coach behind the Jacks bench and to this team, as well as assistant coach Chris Francis, who are going to have a pretty decent roster over the course of the next few seasons. Well, the anthem has finally been sung here at the Ector County Coliseum as we gear up for the ceremonial puck drop. Again, Jacks in their specialty jerseys. Shriners weekend for this Game 1 and Game 2 tomorrow, as the captains will meet right by the officials bench. That is Jaden Jensen and Frank Devorny. And some news for the Jacks over the course of the last week. Dane Hoyer has committed to Army. And we want to congratulate Dane and, of course, his family and his hard work to get him to Army West Point. He has played in 2 seasons here in the NAHL, all with the Jacks. It's game number 99 for him and the captain, Frank Devorny. That means tomorrow both of those have the potential to reach triple digits here in the NAHL. Manzo is now 4 games away. If you count this one, it will be 3, but he is at 96 total games played in a Jackalopes jersey, so he's already had over 100 in the NAHL, but he's approaching 100 with the Jackalopes. So still some milestones and, of course, some records to be had for some Jackalopes players. As we get ready, Eric Arrigo, the referee, linesman Jacob Poe, and Josh Rosenbaum. Puck is dropped. Period number 1 of 3 is underway. And a big hit thrown on the far side already for Trevor Tallene. Setting the pace early on and then trying to reciprocate that was Aiden Carney as Mansfield is with it. Mansfield had 2 goals last weekend against Shreveport, and he is my player to watch as it is played out by Pro Rinkroffs. Strastens collided with the linesman on the near side. Jacks slide it back out to center ice. It will be played rink wide and swept deep by Aiden Carney from Paradise Valley, Arizona. On the far side, Tallene with it. Plays it forward, bounces into enemy territory. Jacks pass it across. Ahern lost it, and out in front with the save was Clafton, and then getting dumped in his net was Ahern, as that one is fluttered over to Proctor for the save and the whistle. As we are 50 seconds into this opening period here from the Ector County Coliseum. Again, thank you for tuning in wherever you are, whether that's on Hockey TV or on the Jacks audio-only YouTube live channel, as it's an offensive zone draw for Amarillo on the near side circle. To take it is Logan Cleary for the Wranglers, as he'll win it back up top to Sofo from the top of the right point. A shot block for Ahern, sent to the top of the left point by the Wranglers. Far side they have it. They try a horizontal shot, saved in the crease by Proctor, and once again a whistle will come. Jacks have a record of 24-19-1-4. A franchise record in the NAHL for them is 33 wins. So they are just 9 shy of that, 12 games remaining. There is a chance that they could break it. Of course, a little bit of a slump for them right now on their longest losing streak of the season, as Duclair is passed around the line and tips it deep. Kelly in after it. They battle for it in the near side corner. It will glide over to the far side. Pinching up on the plane was Bankier. He'll leave it for the RIT commit, Duclair. Back to Duclair. It was sent from Kelly. It got broken up just below that right circle. Spinning with it the other way is Chase Davis. And flipping it out are the Wranglers, as now giving way to it is Jack Kristen. He'll whip it around the yellow trim over to the far side. Duclair wants it. A long stretch pass. Too hot for him to handle, as that one goes right in onto Carter Clafton from Grand Rapids, Minnesota. He'll cover that one up and get the whistle. A little bit of information on the opposition netminder for this evening's matchup. Carter Clafton, second year in the NAHL. He was drafted number 40 overall in 2020 by the Danbury Junior Hat-Tricks, but his entire career so far has been spent with the Minot Minotauros, where he was recently picked up by the Wranglers and has only played now 8 games for them, as it's played behind Proctor's net, dug out by the Jacks. Far side they have it. Right wing wall is picked up by Amarillo as they enter near side. Scrastons leads his team in shots with 225, one of the highest across the NAHL as well. So he loves to just let the puck fly as soon as it gets on his stick. As him and his center line partner, Glebs Prohorenkovs, if you checked out my weekend preview for this season, or for this weekend series, they have a combined 11 points against the Jacks, as a shot from the slot saved by Proctor off the stick of Jaden Price. So stopping those two players is the first goal for the Jacks if they want to be able to come away with 2 points here this evening against a team that is, again, right on their heels. Spinning around with it on the far side are the Wranglers. They'll bank off the boards to the blue line. Now near side for Sofo, who wanted to fire one, and a friendly fire shot as it bounces over to the far side, and it's cleared by Odessa. Over to the near side. Battaglia couldn't handle it. Mansfield with it. He tries to tuck the shoulder. He'll play it below the goal line. Over to the far side. Sweeps it all the way back out. And now the give chase for it is Nate Boak. Nate Boak turns and fires that one off the right half boards. Justin Hughes dances with it. Finds it forward. And offside is called as Pernian was in all alone with Clafton. And it came from that far linesman right in front of the Wranglers bench. 16:33 left to go here in the opening period. Still a scoreless hockey game. Shots favor Amarillo 4-2. Wranglers have a record of 23-22-1-2. They have 49 points. They are 4-5-0-1 in their previous 10 contests. The Jacks in that are 3-5-0-2. Both teams looking, of course, for a strong finish here in the regular season. Again, both are playing in game number 49 of 60 as that one spun back over to Nate Boak. It's good to see him back in action. Of course, we saw William Marshall last weekend as a diagonal pass is sent over to the far side. Marshall a scratch this evening, as well as Desmond Johnson, Liam O'Hare, and Brendan Finn. As Pernian trying to dig it loose on that far side half boards. Hughes comes in to help him out. He'll whip it around for Ahern. Ahern fought off the puck, and it's chipped off the glass and out by Amarillo. as Wojciechowski will knife at it. Flipped deep by Perdian. And a firing shot from Perdian, sails wide. Top of the right circle, they snap one, caught by Clafton with 15:36 left to go here in the first period. With the season series tied at 2-2, again, it's been some time since these two teams laced up the skates against one another. The first meeting of the season went in favor of Amarillo 8-2. Then the Jacks won the following night 5-1. Then they won on January 7th here at the Ector County Coliseum 5-4 in overtime, and then lost the following night 5-3. As Jensen will just flip it down into enemy territory, as settling it to his blade was Trevor Tallene. Tallene patiently waits behind the Dallas, Texas netminder. And a stretch pass attempted is intercepted by the Wranglers as they almost turn it over, and they are able to do so as it was able to be jarred back out to the neutral zone by Ryan Kelly. Claire wants to be on the receiving end of some long stretch passes here in the early get-go of period number 1. Again, we were just over 5 minutes into it as Manzo plays it across. Flipped off the bench boards by Tallene as the Jacks are making some changes on the fly. Sent to Scraston. Scraston still dragged shot, saved by Proctor. Shot number 226 of the season for Scrastons. They have it in the right circle, and a high-rising shot from Aiden Carney goes high and into the safety netting for a halt to play. He had a lot of room in that right circle, and that top line, of course, very dangerous for the Wranglers, and especially in power play opportunities. Scrastons leads the league in power play goals with 14. Prohorenkovs leads the team in assists with 15 on the power play. Offensive zone draw. One back to the top of the right point for Amarillo, and it redirects over to Proctor for another whistle. And another offensive zone draw to come on the near side for the Wranglers. As the Army commit now will work his way into the dot as he goes toe-to-toe with Logan Cleary for this ensuing draw. 14:24 left to go here in the first period. Cleary had his pocket pick, the captain with it. Devorny far side. And catches a friendly Jackalopes bounce, and it's played out. Good couldn't handle it. Back over to Hoyer. They send it Hoyer from a horizontal angle, and saved by Clafton. Jack's doing a great job of matching the pressure that the Amarillo Wranglers are putting out here so far in the opening period. It says 5-3 in shots. I believe 1 or 2 still have to be put up for Odessa. But it has been a very tight first 6 minutes of this contest. Was unable to handle that one was Kuwait. As it's played near side to Devorny, out to Good. Good. Almost stripped of the puck at the logo, and he was, as they get a pass off. They fire one, caught in the left glove by Proctor. Great vision from him as he robs Chase Davis. I do want to just give a quick little nod, and of course a show of respect to Danilo Korshaletsky, number 21 from Ukraine. I am unable to pronounce the city, but he is, I looked it up, 4 hours. He grew up from the capital, Kyiv, of Ukraine. And of course, everybody knows what's happening between Ukraine and Russia right now. So, Danilo, we of course wish him and his family the best. I do know, and talking with the broadcaster, Wranglers broadcaster Nick, that his family is still over in Ukraine. As Scrastons picks it up from the left circle. Pirouette back over with it, finds some real estate, fires one out in front. Proctor got hit from Prohorenkovs, but play continues on as they try to send it to Prohorenkovs in the low slot, and it was broken up by the Jacks. Far side for Bezier, trying to tip it out, unable to do so. Wranglers still work it deep. It's batted back out in front. With it are the Wranglers. They fire one and sticked aside by Proctor. as the Jacks are able to clear. Racing after it is Ben Beester. Played to the near side for Odessa as Jack Christen fires it out. It will bounce over to a waiting Jay Sofo as he's able to play it now in the enemy territory. Forward icing call, however, as the Jacks are able to touch that one up. With 12:53 left to go here in the first period. Still a scoreless hockey game from the Ector County Coliseum. Some big chances there by that top Wranglers line. Again, they are going to be probably the most talked about line for this weekend series. If you take away all 30 goals that Scranton's has, it would put the Wranglers with 92 on the regular season. They have the second fewest goals for in the South Division at 122. The Jacks have 158 and are only behind New Mexico and Wichita Falls, who are tied with 161. Hughes after it, far side. We'll leave it in the right corner. Ahern gets hit in the numbers from behind. The hand remains down from the referee as it flutters back out to center ice. Play near side for Wojciechowski. Luckily, Ahern's okay as he's in hot pursuit of it on that far side. Cleary sails it high and it caroms up and into the Wranglers bench for a halt to play. 12:14 left to go here in the opening period. Still 0-0 between Odessa and Amarillo. The Wranglers mainly get their scoring production from the second period. They are tied for the fourth fewest goals in the first period with 31. To compare, the Jacks have 40 goals scored in the opening 20 minutes of play. But the Jacks are very well diverse in scoring for first and third periods. It's the second period that kind of gives them a little trouble, especially that last weekend series with Shreveport as they tried to touch it between the legs out to center. It's picked up by Manzo and played out to the neutral zone. That one will work its way over to Clafton, who will just cover it up in his crease for another whistle and a halt to play. Now with over 8 minutes gone here in period number one, still 0-0 between the Jacks and the Wranglers. But the Jacks last weekend in game one against Shreveport gave up 4 goals in period number 2, and then the Mudbugs duplicated that in game number 2. On that game 2 final was 4-1. Jacks had a 1-goal lead after period number 1. A good breakup by the Jacks. They try to work it in front by Good, and somehow he was handcuffed on the shot. No penalty was called by the referee. Played to the right circle. Jacks with some pressure. Hoyer in after it. Good darts below the goal line. Trying to knife at it was Hoyer, and it comes loose for the Wranglers over to the near side corner. A reversal hit thrown from Chase Davis. And it will go end over end high, and eventually is settled down by Korshaletsky. Kuhn picks it up behind Alex Proctor, and a long tape-to-tape pass will send Good along the left wing wall. Good walks in first, receiving some supportive help on line changes on that far side. Kusler and now Begier. Begier will twist it deep. Tapping it behind him was Jaden Jensen, and it's played out the left wing by the Wranglers as they will launch that diagonally into the right corner. Boak in after it. We'll shuffleboard it along to Bank here. Played up and out by the Jacks. Great maneuver by them as Mansfield looks to get it along the near side. Mansfield brushes it out in front, and it's broken up, but collected by Begier. From the left circle, his shot chest save from Clafton as there's some jawing going on with Mansfield and Jaden Jensen, more so coming from the captain of Amarillo. On to my player to watch for the Jacks, Ryan Mansfield. The Burlington, Ontario native. Again, his tied for 6th on the team in points with 22, 10 goals, 12 assists. His 10 goals are actually put him in a tie for 6th. And he played in all 4 games against Amarillo this season and has registered 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists. As it's played back up top to Boak. We'll slide it across. Bank here will just opt to play it into that far side corner. 10:15 left to go here in the opening period. 7-6 are the shots. They favor the Wranglers as Amarillo will exit their zone. They'll snap it near side to Kufis. Across it's played and broken up by Nate Boak as now he'll race the other way with it. Boak in a burst of speed. And it catches a stick and bounces right to Sofo as it's back the other way for Bezic, the Michigan Tech University commit. Jacks intercepted and play it deep off the stick of J.R. Perdian. He looks to go across with it. Hits the body of Ahern as he's in pursuit below the goal line. Hughes with it. Hughes doesn't see a passing lane or shooting, so he'll just take it all the way back up top, and now we'll work it down low. As the Jacks try to regroup here in the offensive territory. That one will split the defense, and chasing after it now is Trevor Talley, the Ferris State University commit. We'll play it forward. It's banked off the bench boards the other way by Amarillo. They get around Tallene on that far side. It's on its edge. And cutting off that angle was Wojciechowski. A shot from Todorov, saved by Proctor. Played over to that far right wall by the Jacks. They snap one. That's punched high, and it bounces just out to the left of Clafton and the cage. As Jacks almost had a fortuitous bounce go past the goal line and could have broken this scoreless affair here with 8:45 remaining in the opening period. Duclair unable to gather that stretch pass across. It's played deep as Proctor comes out to settle it. Quick touch passing for the Jacks as they hit Duclair right at the red line. They'll play it across as getting thrown down with no call was Kelly. You have to Duclair hit him tape to tape with that. He'll stretch it across now for Manzo. He was ridden off the puck. Kelly will chase after it near side as him and Davis fight for the loose puck. Duclair in after it. Duclair tries to hop around Bryson Russell. And it's still out in front. A shot turned aside as it's now worked out by Chase Davis. Stretched across to Drayton Todorov. And the Jacks are in the midst of some line changes with 7:45 left to go here in the first period. Shots are tied 7 apiece. Still a scoreless hockey game as Bankier is trying to avoid having his pocket picked. It's sent along the yellow trim. Touched back, and now the Jacks have numbers that they can hurry. Good near side. Unable to get a pass from Hoyard as it bounced through the hash marks and is airmailed out. Jack Christian unable to gather it. It's rolling on its edge towards Proctor, and will smartly cover that one up for a whistle as Gleb's Prohorinkovs trying to get an outlet pass or a clearing attempt from the Wrangler. And it was too hot for him to try to gather. 7:25 left to go here in the first period. It looks like we'll head to a medium. And back out the other way it's played. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of issues with the clock adjustment on Hockey TV. It is a scoreless game. Here's a shot out in front. Hit a body of a Wranglers player. Again, there's just less than 7 minutes left to go here in the first period. 0-0 is the score, and shots are tied 7 apiece as that one will stay in play. Flipped out by Tallene. With it is the captain, Jensen. Sends Prohorinkovs as that one is shoveled into the right corner of the Jacks zone, sent around the stanchions by Proctor over onto the stick of Mansfield. Mansfield with a lot of speed, carried it through the neutral zone and dumped it over into the right corner. With it is Bensick. For the Scrastons. And over onto the near side, the Wranglers have it. Mishandling with it was Zezma. And it's cleared out by the Jacks as they're looking to get some fresh legs onto the ice. Play near side the Sofo. And sending that one deep was Kufis. Bounces back out in front, collected by Hughes. A dangerous bobbling puck, but the Jacks are able to come away unscathed as Hughes will carry this one out. As he's being pestered from behind, stripped of the puck by Beaster as he turned it right back over. Perdian sweeps it deep. Ahern in that left corner. A big hit thrown from Hughes that will draw a hand raise from the referee, as all the Jacks have to do is touch it up. However, Price looking to maybe deposit one, and he's rubbed off the puck by Devorny for a whistle. As it looks like we'll have our first power play opportunity of the game. It will go in favor of the Amarillo Wranglers with 5:22 left to go here in the first period. Cross-checking is the call against Justin Hughes. Offensive zone draw for the Wranglers. A power play opportunity. They are ranked 8th out of 29 teams on the man advantage. Again, they have 39 power play goals. Duclair gets it. Duclair, right circle, plays it right out in front, and it's saved by Clafton. Manzo trying to track the rebound. It stayed just off to Clafton's left side as it's played over. Picked up by the Jacks as they'll just sail that one deep off the stick of Charlie Bankier, one of the 3 assistant captains for Odessa. Under 5 minutes left to go here in the first. A power play opportunity for the Wranglers. They send it across. They enter in the right circle. Played it back out in front, and great diving play by Boak. They get a stick on the puck and keep it away from the back of the net. As 4 new legs get onto the ice for the Jacks. Kusler pestering Oliver Bissick down low. The Wranglers have 39 power play goals so far this season. Again, 14 have come from the stick of number 15, Kristaps Scrastons. Jacks fight for it on the end boards, directly behind Proctor. Wranglers come away with it. And it looked like Tallene had been tangled up with a Wrangler player. That was number 29, TJ Kufis. And hand remained down from the referee. It's walking in now is Davis. Davis from the right circle. Tried to play it across off the leg of Devorny and against the corner. Dug out by Amarillo. Back up top to Jensen. Near side point. Forehand sends it to the circle. Will receive a pass back. Slides it across. Now far side. In the left circle. Wranglers have it. Just 10 seconds left to power play time, and a snapshot saved by Proctor right between the wickets. 3:31 remains here in the opening period. 8-8 are the shots. Still a scoreless hockey game here from the Jack Shack. Justin Hughes anxiously awaiting to get out of the box after he was assessed a 2-minute minor for cross-checking. It's been a very even game so far. A lot of scoring opportunities both ways. Wranglers win it. Single digits left on this power play opportunity. Scrastons waits, finally pulls the trigger, but it reaches that far side boards. Scrastons again with it. Sends it to the right side. They fire, and a big save by Proctor going post to post to rob the Wranglers. And a shot from Scrastons. It's fought off by Proctor, and now racing the other way are the Jacks. Good. Has it from the left circle. A shot somehow saved by Clafton. somewhere in his equipment. Again, number 15 in white and blue, pulling the trigger as soon as that frozen rubber hits his twig from any angle. Nine to 9 are the shots. Jacks kill off the first Wranglers power play of the game. Of course, some confidence for them after the penalty kill for them over the last few games. Has kind of fell off a little bit compared to what 2021 was for them. They were ranked 22nd across the NAHL on the penalty kill. Across, they send it to Ahern out in front, and it's broken up by a stick as it ricochets back out to the neutral zone. Bankier wheels around near side. Fit it to Ahern. Great dangle around Price. Ahern flips it forward. Tries to knife it past Bezic. And now after it is Jaden Price. Price fires one just off to that far side corner by Proctor. And he maybe tried to quickly play it, but the play was blown dead by the referee with 2:22 remaining here in the first period. Amarillo, first team, the double-digit shots. They have 10. Jacks held at 9 here in the opening period. Jacks are 12-7-1-2 as the home team. The Wranglers 13-12-0-1. And the Wranglers are tied with Odessa for the second most losses in regulation in the South Division at 12. The team that has lost the most in regulation on the road are the Rhinos with 15. So Jacks are looking to use this home ice advantage to their favor as a snapshot from off that face-off is caught in the left glove by Proctor, who again is in his third straight start. He was between the pipes in the 6-3 loss in Game 1 last weekend at Shreveport, and then 4-1 the following night. 2:15 left to go. Wranglers have it far side. Skrastin's muscled off the puck by Manzo. Duclair wants it. As he tries to cut off the angle, they're onside. Duclair dives for it, but he's unable to send it to a teammate. As Manzo drapes it back over to Kelly. It's knifed all the way back up to the top of the right circle. Kelly tries to find it. It's picked up by a white jersey. Dumped off the glass. Kelly turns and fires one into a skate in front. Duclair back after it. He'll strip the opposition of the puck and send it over to Manzo. Now back up top to Dvorny. Dvorny fires one punch to the boards by Clafton. And worked around by Kelly. Sent from low to high. Kept alive by the Jacks. Right circle, they have it. As Manzo sends it down low for Duclair. As it's picked off by the Wranglers and cleared out to the near side. Skrastin slows it down before fluttering it off the boards and deep with just 1:15 left to go here in the period. And a long stretch pass will go for an icing call against the Jacks as Dvorny cannot connect with Mansfield. Eleven shots for the Wranglers, 10 on the board for the Jacks in a 0-0 contest here from the Ector County Coliseum. 1:13 remains in the opening period. Draw to the near side of Proctor. Dvorny with it. Plays it forward to Mansfield, however, he is called for offside from Rosenbaum. So a neutral zone draw coming up. Jacks again going right to left here for the final 64 seconds of this opening period. Nicholas Campbell to take it for the Wranglers. As Kusler tries to fight for it, he got, I believe, a stick or hand up high. His head had been knocked back. Jacks have yet to have a power play so far. Mansfield looking for an outlet pass. Will bring it below the goal line, directly behind Clafton. As now two players from each team battling for it. Put all the way to open ice at the top of the right point for Kuitt. Plays it high to low. Twisted pass out in front to over to Begier. It's intercepted by Chase Davis, who's been all over the place for the Wranglers. And knifing it around the opposition is Campbell. Campbell far side, fires one into a body in front. And Kusler will collect it over to that far side as some Wranglers players collided with one another. Just 15 seconds left to go here in period number 1 of a scoreless hockey game from the Ector County Coliseum. Played over to the near side corner. Devorny softly plays it to open ice on the far side. Turning with it is Yates. Pinning it up against the boards was Kusler. As now Devorny just looks on, as that will do it for period number 1 of 3 here from the Jack Shack. 20 minutes in the books. A scoreless game and a very big back and forth first period. Some hits, some scoring opportunities on both ends of the ice. However, both netminders standing on their head through the first period. 11 shots for the Wranglers and a 10 for the Jacks. As we only have 40 minutes left in regulation. Again, only one game of the 4 so far in this season series exceeded 60 minutes, and there haven't really been too many close games like the Jacks have had against teams like Lone Star, maybe some other teams like New Mexico. But right now, the Jacks staying in this, of course, in front of their hometown crowd. They haven't been here in over a month. Not since the February 3rd, 4th, and 5th 3-3 series when they faced Lone Star and then 2 games against the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. Of course, the Jacks are looking to end their season-high losing streak at 5 games and get back in the win column. As for the Wranglers, they're trying to go on a 3-game win streak. They only have 5 wins here in 2022. The Jacks have 6. I'll be back in a little bit with the second period of play between Odessa and Amarillo here from the Ector County Coliseum. A scoreless first period. And shots favor the Wranglers 11-10. Welcome back into the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen listening over on Hockey TV, as well as the Jacks audio-only YouTube live feed over on the Jacks YouTube channel as we get ready for period number 2 between tied for 4th place Odessa Jackalopes and 6th place Amarillo Wranglers. It is a scoreless affair here from the Ector County Coliseum. Both teams have 6 wins when tied after the first period of play. The Wranglers have a positive record of 6-5 when knotted after the first 20 minutes. As for the Jacks, they're 6-7-0-1. Odessa was 18-10-1-1 in 2021, but so far this new calendar year has not been too kind to them as they are 6-9-0-3 in this new year, and they went 3-3-0-2 in the month of February. Again, this is the 3rd straight start for Proctor as he was between the pipes for the last weekend series against the Shreveport Mudbugs, which was the first time the Jacks all season did not pick up a point during the weekend series, which of course hurt them a little bit by had they done so, they would be in sole possession of 4th place and 1 point above Shreveport. However, again, to go that long, almost again up until the month of March, to consistently be getting a point, it has kept them in this playoff race, which, of course, down the line is going to mean many positives for this team, especially from a coaching perspective, but also even from a standings perspective. It keeps them in the hunt, and they still have, of course, over double-digit games remaining, as do the Wranglers. This is a big 2-games weekend series between these two teams. Again, 4 points. If the Wranglers win both games, they will go up to 53 points. And Shreveport plays Lone Star this weekend and then New Mexico next weekend. So they are going up against 2 of the best teams in the South Division. So they could realistically also be held for 53. And there could be a potential 3-way tie for that final playoff spot. Again, Wichita Falls is also in action this weekend, as is Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi at 48 points. So if they have a good weekend, they could jump Amarillo. If the Jacks have a good weekend here, and of course could gain some separation between them and Corpus and Amarillo. So not sure if you got all that, but basically just kind of take it one day at a time, one period at a time, especially when I was talking with head coach Scott Dewar leading up to this matchup, is that they are in a good spot right now. Of course, they would like to be better than they are right now, as would every other team. And it kind of just starts with this game, and it's building blocks. It's getting past this little 5-game losing streak slump that they're in, getting back into the win column, which they are able to do, as they've had multiple win streaks throughout this season. But getting the full 2 points, and that's the thing too, getting the regulation victory is what matters most in terms of from the Jackalopes' perspective. Ending it in regulation is the main goal here. However, if it does go into overtime, at least the Jacks are able to get the point. They'll stay, ahead of Amarillo, at least throughout the weekend. Again, the max points the Wranglers can get for this weekend is 53. The Jacks have a potential of earning 57 if they are able to come up with 2 wins here this weekend. But we gear up for another period of action here from the Ector County Coliseum. Still 2 goose eggs on the board. 11 shots for the Wranglers, 10 for the Jacks as they switch sides of the ice here for the second period. Jacks going left to right from your vantage point on Hockey TV. Wranglers going right to left. Again, this is the better scoring period for the Wranglers. 54 goals for them. And a +5 goal differential. The Jacks are -8 with 52 goals for during this second period. And as Kusler, one of the assistant captains, gets ready to take the draw at center ice, as he will go up against Logan Cleary for the start of this second period. Cleary brushes it on back to the defensive Russell, played forward, right to a waiting Jackalope stick, all the way down. It will slide for an ice and goal. And the Jacks thought they had touched it at that blue line. They're talking with the referee. It looks like it won't matter as it's going to be brought back into their own zone. And this is just 8 seconds in to period number 2. The Wranglers had the only power play opportunity so far in this game. The Jacks with a penalty kill unit that is 22nd best out of 29 teams in the NAHL was able to kill it off, of course. They had given up some power play goals over the course of the last few games. Actually, the last time they did not give one up was February 4th in a glove save from Proctor off the snapshot from Oliver Bezig from above the left circle. As the Wranglers will have another offensive zone draw. Near side circle. Again, referees Eric Arrigo, linesman Jacob Poe, and Josh Rosenbaum. To the blocker side of Proctor. Brush it back up top to Bezic. He'll walk the line. Left-handed defenseman plays it down low. Roll on its edge to the far side. Scraston's in after it. Tries to throw a reversal hit on the Wojciechowski. He'll chip it back up top. And Sofo will lace it deep. Over to the near side for Tallinn. He'll rim it all the way up top. Prohorenkovs comes away with it. Fires it from the slot. Saved by Proctor. Rebounds there as well. And a secondary save from the Dallas Star native. And the tape pass. One-on-one. They shoot. Saved. It's loose. It's in the back of the net! From Ryan Mansfield, waiting on the official signal. They're still checking. All 5 Wranglers are in the crease. They pulled the puck out. The Jacks are celebrating. The goal light was lit, but never a hand signal from the referee. Falling backwards was Carter Clafton. Mansfield was one-on-one with him, and a great stretch pass from the defense as the Carrots are flying over the short glass here for the first time in over a month. If it counts, it's 49 straight games with a goal. And my player to watch, Ryan Mansfield, would break the scoreless game here 51 seconds in. As the referee went to go talk to the goal judge behind Clafton. As again, him and all of his teammates were in the crease. Everybody was looking for the frozen rubber, and they wave it off. As the boos rain around the Ector County Coliseum, waved off by referee Arrigo. Had that counted for Ryan Mansfield, who has been incredible so far for the Jacks. That would have been point number 23 for him in his rookie season. But not only that, that would have been 4 goals for him in his last 4 games. He's got 4 points in his last 5 games, as now the Carrot crew has to come out and pick up the Carrots that do not count. It's still a scoreless game. 14 shots for the Wranglers, 11 for the Jacks. Their first shot of the period almost found its way to the back of the net, but waved off by the referee after some further discussion with his officiating group. As we get ready again to drop the puck, it's an offensive zone draw for Odessa, far side circle. Off to the blocker side of Clafton. Ahern wins it back. Kuwait with it, near side, top of the right point. He fires one, banks off the end, boards over to the left circle. It's corralled by Amarillo and fluttered out, I should say, over to the near side. Trying to play it was Ahern. A big hit thrown from J.R. Perdian as he has to tag back up, and Hughes will give chase. Now Perdian slapped around to the near side. Ahern picks it up. Jaden Jensen with it. On that far side, the captain played it forward. Great poke check from Odessa as they break it up from Nick Ahern. Hughes lost it in the right circle. And a big hit thrown from Ahern as he threw his body weight around on Aiden Carney. Now near side for Kuitt from the red line. Kuitt patiently will rattle it around the glass over to the far side. Jacks have it. Dropped one back to Manzo from Duclair. Back up top. Bankier now with it. Boak spins it across for Manzo. Manzo will leave it for the top of the left point for Duclair. And will play it over to the near side. 2 minutes gone here in period number 2. As Russell will skate out with it and lob it into enemy territory as he looks ahead to the bench for a line change. Broken up right at Proctor's doorstep, played out to the neutral zone, and then snapped deep by Kyle DeMarco. 15 shots for Amarillo, 11 for Odessa. As tipping that one deep was Ryan Kelly. After it is Chris Duclair, the RIT commit. Him and Manzo in after it on that far side. Duclair back over to Manzo. Manzo's pass is turned over as Price sends it over to a waiting Beaster. Beaster hit the brakes. Shot saved by Proctor. Rebound sent wide from Price and flipped out by Tallene. As Kelly was almost able to read it. There was a big hit thrown on the bench boards over on the far side as there was a Wrangler player slow to get back to the bench. Play near side for Hoyer. Hoyer backhands one just past Clafton and off the end boards as he was able to almost finesse his way around one and score the goal. As we still are locked in a stalemate after Ryan Mansfield was denied the first goal of the game. 16:45 left to go here in the second period. His goal would have been 51 seconds in. And on the first shot, the only one so far for Odessa, as Tallene plays it forward. Clafton comes out to play it. Well, backhanded around to the captain, Jensen. Good intercepts. Good with it. The Ferris State commit sends it over to Yates. Yates all the way back up top. DeVorney could not handle it, and back out to the neutral zone they have to go. As they'll sail that one into enemy territory. Off to the right side of Clafton. Play near side to Bezic. Oliver Bezic from Delray Beach, Florida. It bounces out to the neutral zone. Kufis. And his pass broken up. It's played up but not out by the Jacks. Back over to Kufis. And his pass does not find a teammate as Hoyard will gather it. Far side. Hoyard enters. Sends it right off the leg pad of Clafton through the blue paint and out the other way. Zesma fires one right into the breadbasket of Proctor, who will eat that one up for a whistle. With 15:44 left to go here in period number 2. Shots read 17 for Amarillo, 11 on the board for the Jacks. However, they have had at least one or two put up on Carter Clafton so far. Draw to the near side circle. Blocker, hand of Proctor. Glebs, Prohorenkovs, the Riga Latvia native to take it. They lose it. Bezier with it. Will dart through the neutral zone. And his zone entry was stifled by the defense of Amarillo. Prohorenkovs gets around one, and good stick on puck from Bankier. Picked up in the right circle by the Jacks. And settled down by Mansfield as he looks to right the wrong that was given to him early on into this period. As he was denied his 11th goal of his NAHL career. Prohorenkovs fires it out through center ice. Hope the hit is Latvian line partner, Skrassins, could not do so. Played right in front of the penalty boxes. Bezier will flutter that one deep. Just over 5 minutes gone here in period number 2. Still some shots to be put up on the board for Odessa as it's banked off the near side boards all the way down. For an icing call as Wojciechowski will get there first. So not only is this weekend a big one, but there's also a lot happening throughout this last homestand for the Jacks. Again, this is the first of 8 in a row for Odessa here at the Ector County Coliseum. Tomorrow's UTPB night, $5 tickets for students and staff. And it's also the jersey auction for the Shriner jerseys. Proceeds will benefit the Shriners Hospital for Children. As it's played over to the near side, and a big hit from J.R. Pernian. Collected by Ahern. Twisted back out in front, played just to the outside of the net. The bobbling puck is settled down by Pernian, and then airmailed out by the Wranglers. And before the red line touching it was Pernian, so icing was going to be called. They opt to not blow the plate down as Tallene will keep it alive from the top of the near side right point. Over to the far side, slapped down, and Tallene tries to hit 6'4", 195 centerman Chase Davis. Brought in by Aiden Carney. Carney leaves it. Behind the goal line, it's played by Beester. Between the defense, it will slide back the other way as Clafton comes out to pick it up. With 13:35 left to go here in period number 2. Still 2 zeros on the board. As that one's played off the near side boards. Beester with it. Tries to send it across, but offside is called against Amarillo. Saw a few of those go against the Jacks back in period number 1, and you see one happen there against Amarillo. This is game number 99 for Dane Hoyard, the Army commit, as well as the captain who has the puck on his stick right now, Frank DeVorney. Back to the defense of the Wranglers. It's played over to the near side. Connor Kuhn with it, slaps it back around. Kelly tags back up, and he'll apply for check as the Wranglers have it in the near side corner. Sent all the way back out. DeVorney with it, left wing wall. Right in front of the benches, still tries to muscle his way through and settled down by Amarillo. They go one-on-one. Kuwit tries to back check in time, and a great stick on puck for Connor Kuwit, the St. Michael, Minnesota native, denying a shot from Ben Beester from that far side circle. Long stretch pass near side to Kelly. Kelly, who had a goal last weekend against Shreveport, softly plays it deep below the goal line. Him and Duclair give chase. Kelly knocks it free. Swept back up top. Now to the near side. Bankier with some room. Bankier sidesteps one. Now he fires one into a blocked shot. The captain, Jensen, stung on the play as he heads back to the bench for a quick change. Zesma with it. Tries to center one over to Logan Cleary. Unable to get a shot off on Proctor. Boak sends it across near side for Hoyer. He'll backhand one over. That's good. Unable to get a shot off. Hoyer fires one caught by Clafton from above the right circle. As good as tangled up with Drayton Todorov. Just 12:07 left to go here in the second period. An offensive zone draw for the Jacks. Near side circle. To the left hand, the glove side of Carter Clafton, 6'2", 170 pounds from Grand Rapids, Minnesota. So all the way back to the far side. Hoyer trying to head fake the opposition. As Prohorenkopf sends it out. Scrastins was cherry picking the Jacks blue line. As it's played back over to awaiting Charlie Bankier. Go Jacks, go chant echoing throughout the Ector County Coliseum. Sent near side to Hoyer. Rink wide now off the stick of Bonk, who will recollect it. Played over to Good. Good receiving pressure from behind. He fires one. Stick to side by Clafton. Rebounds loose. It is retrieved by the Wranglers as they have it near side as they bounce it out to the neutral zone. Good intercept by Good. He's first in. He'll hit the brakes. Trying to leave it for his line partner, Riley Yates. As the Wranglers have it off to the far side. Played right to Danilo Karszaletsky. And a good strip of the puck by Good. Numbers for the Jacks if they can hurry. Near side for Yates. Across it for Good. From the slot, he had his pocket picked. And now the Wranglers trying to surge the other way. Wojciechowski trying to negate a shooting lane for Scrastins. Good work by the defenseman to take away that lane from one of the hottest goal scorers in the NAHL. He's got 30 under his belt. And say no icing is called as now Mansfield will try to gather it on the near side. Hand is raised this time as Proctor, though, will come out to play it. 10:30 left to go here in the second period. Swept over into the near side corner. Played to the left. Circle and a right kick saved by Proctor. Puck is retrieved by Devorny and played out to the red line. As it's played from near to far, D to D for the Wranglers. They flutter one into the left corner. Kuwait in after it. He'll send it all the way over to the near side for a waiting Tanyan Bezier. Now over to Kusler. Off the skate of Mansfield. One side are the Jacks. And Jensen and Mansfield collide all along the end boards. With it is Oliver Bezic. He'll pin it up against the yellow trim. Mansfield tries to work the puck loose. 16 players for the Wranglers stand at least 6 feet tall. They have 2 more than the Jacks do so far playing. They twirl one on towards Clafton, hit a body in front. As Devorny has the back check, as trying to beat the opposition was Chase Davis. And a good defensive work by Odessa Ahern. Held away from a shooting opportunity. As it's broken up at the Jacks logo. Near side for Sofo. Sofo being guarded heavily by J.R. Pernian. As they hold it up against the boards along the near side. Chipped off the windshield down low. Played to the boards near side from Devorny. Pernian fires it rink wide as played out now to Ahern. Ahern has Hughes in the slot. Ahern tries to sauce it to him. And it's sticked over to the boards by Clafton. Ahern with it now. Ahern works it to the right circle. Pernian fires one, saved by Clafton. Hand is raised. Penalty is called. Holding on Amarillo. Power play opportunity for the Jacks here with 8:52 remaining in the second period of a scoreless hockey game from the Ector County Coliseum. And the guilty party is number 23, Ben Beester. Kristaps Skrastins has the most points, assists, and is tied for the most goals against the Jacks so far in this 4-game series. He's got 3 goals, 4 assists. Logan Cleary has the second most points with 5. For the Jacks, you got Ryan Kusler, 5 points in 4 games played against the Wranglers so far this season. 3 goals. He ties Dane Hoyard for the lead between him and between the Jacks and the Wranglers. And a multitude of Jackalopes players at 2 assists. During the second period intermission, I will be joined by Brianna Jewell. She was a Shriners kid and today is a volunteer firefighter in training. She was following her dreams thanks to the Shriners Hospital for Children and from supporters of the Odessa Shrine Club. She's had 49 surgeries thanks to the Shriners Hospital. So I will be joined alongside her after this second period ends in 8 minutes and 52 seconds. Offensive zone draw for the Jacks. Locked in a stalemate game against 6th place Amarillo. Just 4 points behind them in the South Division standings. Played over to the Bud Light logo. Now to Kusler from the slot. Hit a stick in front. Karam's over to the corner. Mansfield trying to get some help from Kelly. Another Wrangler comes in. Mansfield wins the board battle. Finds open ice on the far side. We'll play it. Jensen in after it for Amarillo. He sails in 2 white jerseys the other way. Proctor all alone on that far side as he has to pin it up against the trim. And trying to get back to the net in time. He's able to do so as his team was able to get fresh legs onto the ice. With it is Russell. Russell intentionally fires it wide. And there was a broken stick from Skrastins, who has to head right to the bench for a quick change. Actually, he'll remain on the bench as Kusler will take it through the neutral zone. Over to the far side, it's played. Kelly will rim it around the yellow trim. They have Bezier in the slot. They don't feed it to him. Kusler with it, far side. Went back up to the blue line. Jacks have it. Now near side for Mansfield. Mansfield out in front. Too much for Bezier to handle with it, and his shot just flutters through the neutral zone, or flutters through the slot. Jacks keep it alive. Mansfield with it on this power play opportunity. They fire one, saved in the breadbasket by Clafton. with 7:38 left to go here in period number 2. 46 seconds left of power play time for the Jacks. As their power play, again, also something to be talked about as well. 26th in the NAHL at 14.4% success rate. 23 power play goals for them. They did get one last weekend thanks to Ryan Kelly in that final period of game number 1. The penalty kill for the Wranglers is tied for 17th at 80.7%. Jacks have it, near side. Clafton, top of the right circle. Dvorny plays it to the slot. They fan on it. They get a secondary opportunity that sails up and over the net of Clafton. But below the safety netting, so it's being jostled for on the far side. Players coming together, trying to knock it loose. Bounces back up top for Bankier, below the blue line. Sends it over to Duclair. Duclair stick handles with it, waits, sends it to the slot, and it's rifled out by Amarillo, right past the glove of Bankier. Just 15 seconds left of power play time for the Jacks. It's their only power play of the game so far as Purdy circles back along the boards and his pass out into no man's land as they have to retreat back to the neutral zone. Good gather by Bankier. Sends it across off the stick of Pernian. Shoveled over and just past the net of Clafton as hand is raised against Amarillo. Tripping is called as Duclair went down below the goal line. And the Jacks went right back to the man advantage here at the Ector County Coliseum. The guilty party, the leading point scorer, Kristaps Skrastins. Skrastins has 30 goals, 26 assists for 56 points. Again, he entered this game with 225 shots. The second most was New Mexico Ice Wolves forward Dylan Bentley with 198. So you can see the big difference, of course, Skrastins makes on the ice. He has to sit in the box, 2-minute minor for tripping. 6:47 left to go here in the second period. Back to up top to Ahern. He'll keep it alive. Near side, top of the right point. Ahern with it. Now walk into the circle. Dangerously play it to the slot. Broken up by Amarillo. Played up top to Tallene. Back into the circles. Ahern able to keep it alive. We'll send it over to the left circle. Out in front, Hughes unable to get a tip on it. And the Wranglers trying to play it out. And they're able to do so right past Ahern and Yates. As a second power play opportunity for the Jacks. Back-to-back chances. A scoreless hockey game against a team 4 points behind them in the South Division standings. They're coming off a sweep. Great dance move by Ahern, but he's taken down, and it's cleared out by Amarillo. Wranglers entered this game ranked 3rd out of 8 in the South Division in penalty minutes with 969. The Jacks have the second fewest at 734, as it's once again cleared out by the Wranglers as both teams are making changes on the fly. Just 60 seconds left of power play time for Odessa with the leading scorer in the box for Amarillo. 5:40 left to go here in the middle period. As Mansfield will leave it behind his net. And a lot of speed down the right wing wall is Wojciechowski. Wojciechowski gets around one. In pursuit of it from the right corner. 3 Wranglers in after. A lot of open ice for the Jacks that they can dig it loose. They got Mansfield watching as well as Kusler. They're still unable to jar the puck loose. All the way back up top. Kelly keeps it alive. Near side point. Kelly leaves it for Mansfield. Across to the Bud Light logo. Mansfield now winds and fires. Rebounds loose for Kelly. Sweeps it out in front. Hit a body. And the Karen puck is over to the far side for Kusler. Kusler with it. Back up top. Wojciechowski. Near side for Mansfield. Back over to Wojciechowski. Now to Kusler. Far side circle. Across they stretch it. Mansfield fires one, saved by Clafton. He picks up the loose puck. Sick tapping is Proctor. About to get out of Skrastins as it will ride the glass over to the far side. And back to even strength we go. Played down low to Kelly. Out in front for Begier. Not getting to him. Begier backhands it in. He scores! Tangen Begier. 4:35 left to go in the second period. And this one will count. It's 1-0 Odessa. The Cleveland, Ohio native gets his 12th in his rookie season, and it is now point number 22 for him. The Wranglers all game long have really clogged the slot. Not too many chances. The Jacks are looking to go to the hash marks. It's been getting broken up a lot. And shortly after that power play expired for them, they break the scoreless affair here at the Ector County Coliseum. It's Tanyan Begier from Cleveland, Ohio, getting his 12th NAHL goal. At the top of the crease, right in front of Carter Clafton, as the bouncing puck was just off to his left-hand side on the near side of us from Hockey TV's perspective. And maybe some puck luck on the stick of Tanyan Begier. Nonetheless, they'll take it. 49 games, 49 goals for the Jacks in a row so far. Again, 60 total games is played for all teams across the NAHL, so there's still 11 more for both teams after the conclusion of this game.
Odessa Jackalopes goal. Scored by number 28, Hughes. Assisted by number 18,
Ryan Kelly with the assist. And Ryan Kusler.
Time of that goal, 15:27 into the second period.
That is a big goal for the Jacks. Of course, they need a little bit more wiggle room to give them some breathing space. And it starts here with that momentum. You got the hometown crowd on your side, and you can really kind of work it from there. 4:33 left to go here in the final minutes of this second period. It was shortly after Scraston's hopped out of the box, getting at a 2-minute minor for tripping. The Jacks are 0 for 2 on the power play. Wranglers are 0 for 1. And again, the Jacks' second fewest penalty minutes in the South Division have only been called once so far. So they have 736 so far through 49 games. They've never finished below 1,000 penalty minutes in the course of their NAHL history. One back from the ensuing center ice draw from the Jacks all the way down to Kuwait. Kuwait forward to Duclair. Now over to Purdy, near side. Purdy has some help, drops it on back to Duclair. Duclair drops the shoulder, plays it out in front, and that one just bounces up and over the net of Carter Clafton from Mike Manzo. As the Jacks are hungry for more. Manzo in after it, near side. He's in hot pursuit of Bryson Russell. As Prohorenkovs will pass it over to the far side. And a good stick-on puck from Connor Kuwait to play it out. Stretched across but intercepted by Russell as he's trying to fight through the opposition, but offside he goes with 3:49 left to go. Shots are tied 18 apiece. Again, I still think it's been a very close back-and-forth game. I mean, the shots also, with that being even, they kind of dictate that, but a one-goal differential game so far also says kind of a testament to what these two teams are kind of laying it all out on the ice and hopes for a playoff spot. Bankier passes it across. Jacks get a second crack at clearing it. It's played to the right circle. They fire one in and out of the left glove of Proctor, and it's picked right back up. However, it's played right back to the circle, and getting bodied was Russell from Bankier. There's a man out in front. Big saves by Proctor, somehow coming up with it in desperation-like manner. Sprawled out in the crease, fighting through a Wrangler player that was in the blue paint, and absolutely robbing CJ Zezma to keep it a 1-0 Odessa lead. here with 3:28 left to go in the middle period from the Ector County Coliseum. Draw to the near side in the Jack zone. Blocker side of Alex Proctor. Won by the Jacks. Wojciechowski weaves his way from near to far. All the way out it's played. Jacks are offside if they touch it up, and they do. As ahead of the play was J.R. Perdian as he was trying to catch that long stretch pass from zone to zone. Again, some new merch has hit the merchandise store, so make sure you check that out if you get your tickets for any of the upcoming final 8 home games of the regular season. We are getting down to the nitty-gritty here, folks, of the regular season, and it will go by in the blink of an eye, but make sure you check out the merch stand if you do attend an upcoming Jackalopes home game. Neutral zone draw, far side circle right in front of the Jacks bench. Pushed back to the defense. Slid near side to Tallene. He'll fire one, and Clafton comes out to glove it out of midair. This will be an offensive zone draw for the Jacks. Near side circle. Jacks are 18-7 when scoring the first goal of the game. That is their 26th first goal. That entered with 25, tied for the 11th most across the NAHL. As it's sent off the yellow trim and out. Aiden Carney with it. Tries to dance his way around Wojciechowski. 3 minutes left to go here in the period. Hughes sends it along the left wing. Played on back to Tallene. His team's holding the line. Tallene fires one, stick to side by Clafton. Trying to chop out, it was Tallene, but broken up by the Wranglers. Hughes with it. Hughes tries to get it back. Bounces off the outside of the mesh. Kyle DeMarco settles it behind his netminder. Played over to the near side. Tallene rubbed off the puck from Carney. Settled down by the Jacks. Getting pressured is Ahern. Ahern head fakes. He walks the line. It's knifed around him. He gets taken down by DeMarco. And all is square as the Jacks have it as they try to go north with it. Broken up by Russell. Sent over to the far side for Davis. Davis plays it out in front. A great break up by Connor Kuitt. Right at the top of Proctor's crease. Just 2:10 left to go here in the period. 20-20 are the shots. The Jacks lead, however, 1-0 thanks to Tanyan Beigir's hard-fought effort at the top of Clafton's crease. Skrasny's near side. Sends it across to his Latvian partner, Prohorinkov. So he'll leave it on back. They fire one and score. Danilo Korsheletsky, the Ukrainian native with his parents back in, of course, Ukraine. He grew up about 4 hours away from the capital. And with everything going on over there, he makes the tying goal here all the way in Odessa, Texas, as there is also a Odessa, Ukraine. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff running through his mind, but he does tie the game. Only 1:54 left to go. It was a shot from the far right circle that flew right past Proctor. And they get set to drop the puck here at center ice, following the goal from Korsheletsky. They fire one that caroms off a body in front over to the near side. Slung back towards Proctor. That hit a body again in front. And it's broken up. Beigir tries to turn the other way with it. Bankier slings it across to Mansfield. Mansfield left circle is shot. Hit a diving defenseman in front who sacrificed the body. Bankier. Back over to Boak. Boak with it. Winds, fires one punch to the boards by Clafton. Just a minute 20 left to go here in the second period. Bankier has to wait for his team to tag uphill. Draping on back to Boak. Now back over to Bankier. They play catch. Near side for Beigir, who will just wind it deep. And over to the far side for Kusler. Jacks in the process of getting some new legs onto the ice, so Tallene has to go back in his own zone to give chase. He'll race along the right wing. He'll get around Russell from the right circle. Sends it across right into a stick for number 19, Nicholas Campbell. Jacks keep it alive. They get Manzo. Manzo from the slot. He fires one, saved by Clafton. Rebounds loose. Still no whistle, and finally, play has been blown dead with 45.1 seconds left on the clock here from the Jack Shack. Offensive zone draw for Odessa, near side circle. Carter Clafton is also playing in his third straight game. He's on a 3-game win streak and 7 goals against in his last 3 games. You can now make that 4 in his last 4. Kelly with it. Right circle. Fires one. Punched aside by Clafton. Almost there for a rebound for Duclair. Worked around the yellow trim to the near side. Pitting it against the boards was Bezic. Scraston's placing it out to Prohorenkops. And now the Wranglers race the other way to try to gain the lead. They fire one from the right circle. Saved by Proctor. Again, this time he denies Korsheletsky. It's played behind him, just up against the Jacks' door, where they will exit in the next 10 seconds once the horn sounds, ending period number 2. And that almost came up as Scraston throws a man down, and that will draw a penalty, him and Tallene. Jostling, and Tallene throws a right jab at the face of Scraston's, and now some extracurricular. 5.7 seconds left to go. Here in regulation, shots are tied 22 apiece. And it's a 1-1 game here in the 5th of 8 meetings between these two teams for the regular season. Season series for the Jacks tied 2-2 with this team that is chasing them in the South Division standings, and Scraston's will head to the bench, or to the box, I should say, as Tallene will make his way for Odessa. And Wojciechowski now in for maybe serve some extra that Tallene was given. No one else is in the box for Amarillo, and Tallene is actually being sent over to the bench. Now Wojciechowski sits. Maybe they had the wrong player. 5.7 seconds left to go in the second period. Scraston's 61 penalty minutes entering this game. Not the most penalized Wranglers player. That belongs to Drayton Todorov with 122. The most penalized Jackalopes player is Charlie Bankier at 95. 2 minutes on the board for Wojciechowski, as well as Kristaps Scrastons, who has now sat in the box, or will, for at least 4 total minutes so far here this game, as he was given a tripping call earlier in this period. Shortly after, it was Tanguy Bejier that scored the first goal of the game. From the neutral zone drop, Wranglers send it deep, and that will do it as the horn sounds, ending period number 2 here from the Ector County Coliseum. The first period ended 0-0. And now the second period will end 1-1 as the linesmen and officials make sure they get in the way of Scraston's and a few Jackalopes players. As 40 minutes has come and gone, we enter another intermission tied, but this time the score has been broken for both sides, 1-1 here from the Ector County Coliseum. Again, I'll be joined alongside a former member of the Odessa Shriners Hospital, Brianna Joel. So make sure you stay tuned on Hockey TV for that interview coming up in just a few minutes as I get her set up here from the broadcast booth at the Ector County Coliseum. Odessa 1, Amarillo 1 after 40 minutes of play.
Can you hear me? Okay.
1, 2, 1. You can hear me? You can't hear me?
I can hear you, like,
You can-
outside of here, but not in here.
Not in there? Okay. Is that any better? No. Is that any better? No. Now? Can you hear me now? No? Sweet. Any better?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little faint, but I can hear
A
you.
little faint. Okay. Any better? No, you lost me?
I didn't lose you. Like, you're just faint.
Faint. Okay.
Maybe I'm just deaf. I'm not too sure.
Is that better? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, joining me is a very special guest as we have the Odessa Shrine Club and of course the Shriners Hospital for Children, Jewel, I should say. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody listening on Hockey TV and maybe just a little bit about your background and your experience with Shriners.
Hey, y'all. I'm Brianna Jewel. I've been with the Shriners for probably around 18 years now. I'm 20 years old now. I've had a total of 49 surgeries with the Shriners Hospital. My first surgery was with them was whenever I was 3 years old. Don Minshew, which was a former Shriner with Odessa, is the guy that got me in and flew me to the hospitals and whatnot just to get everything that I needed taken care of. And he unfortunately passed away, but he was the person that brought me in, and now all the guys that are still around and still mentoring me to this day, I guess it just helped me out and really have formed me into the person I am now. Without the Shriners, I definitely wouldn't be who I am today. Like I said, I've had 49 surgeries. All those surgeries with the Shriners Hospital have been free, completely pro bono. I've had 3 surgeries outside of the Shriners Hospital from whenever I was 21 hours old to the day I turned 3 years old. So those 3 surgeries we're still paying on, you know what I mean? So if it wasn't for the Shriners and those 49 surgeries that I've had since then, I don't really know where I'd be. My condition's very minor compared to a lot of people, so I can only imagine how much the Shriners have helped other kids. They've definitely done a part in my life, though, and I wouldn't be who I am without them.
Well, talk a little bit too about, obviously you've went through a great ordeal as well as just like a lot of kids, especially at various ages, go through with all these surgeries, and maybe a little bit about where it used to be in terms of Shriners Hospital and where it is now, and kind of the publicity and kind of the awareness that it's been getting over the course of maybe even the last 5 to 10 years compared to when you were first there.
Oh, yeah. Like, whenever I was 3 years old, obviously I don't remember, but my mom and my dad didn't know anything about the Shriners. And now you hear about the Shriners on TV or the radio or, like, going around town. You see them all the time, those funny-looking guys in the weird hats, like, that's how they're identified. They've got weird hats on, but, like, truth be told, those hats are full of just a lot of love and help for every kid out there that needs any type of help or need. I guess. Yeah, they just more publicity. Like I said, whenever I was younger, there wasn't a lot of publicity. Now there is. I've been an ambassador for the hospital for 18 years now, and so I feel like everybody that I talk to that it's different, I tell them about the Shriners just because there's not a lot that is said about the Shriners. I have yet to meet somebody that's like me through the Shriners, or unless it's through the Shriners. You know what I mean? I don't walk down the road and see somebody that has the same difference I do. I have to go and like at the hospitals or at hockey games or at the golf tournaments that we hold every year. That's the only way I've met people that look like me and that have gone through what I've gone through. So obviously they've done a toll and helped a lot in my life and other kids like me.
Well, of course, things like social media, really kind of ramp up that awareness for it, and events like this where we have, junior hockey teams having specialty jerseys. What does it mean for you as somebody that obviously now you're an ambassador for them and you've kind of course, have been through, kind of a big ordeal like many kids? What's it like seeing the Jacks, kind of give awareness back to a local cause and a good cause,
right.
And proceeds from the jersey auction will be benefiting the Shriners Hospital tomorrow?
It's really cool to see all these guys skating around in our jerseys, like that's my hospital out there. I've been there my whole life, and now these guys are skating around in our logo. It means a lot. And so for them to support and be there and I guess try to understand what we've been through and play for us, it means a lot. Like, they're not just playing because they enjoy the game at that point. It's because they want to support us.
And for those that don't know you, of course, this is our first time meeting, but through Odessa itself, what are kind of the, kind of the perks to, I guess, having the Shriners around? I mean, some towns you might have to travel pretty far to get those surgeries done. So what's it like to be able to have some access here locally?
Heaven sent, really. Like, I was 3 years old and had nowhere to go surgical-wise, and I needed those surgeries. There's Shriners everywhere, and you don't even know it. Like, you don't know that this guy walking down the street could save your life, and that's exactly what happened to me. I met a random guy with my mom at 3 years old in the Chick-fil-A on 42nd Street, and he saved my life. From the day I was 3 years old to the day I turned 18, I had 49 surgeries because this random guy saw that I was different and saved my life. And I know that sounds a little dramatic, not knowing my whole story, but it's 100% the truth. And I hope that anybody that's different, born with some kind of, I don't like to say defect, but defect because that really hurts my heart saying defect, but somebody that's born different and needs that extra little bit of help, don't be afraid to reach out, because I was afraid to admit that I look different my whole life, and it's not that bad to say, like, this is your normal. If you're different, that's your normal, and it's okay to say that you're different.
Yeah, exactly. I think, of course, over the last few years, a lot of people, are really just coming out and being a lot more comfortable in their own skin, which is great, of course, for future generations. And this is something that we were kind of talking about before we went on air. But what is something that you see Shriners doing maybe in the next 5 to 10 years? We talked a little bit about what it used to be like in the past, but what are maybe your hopes for Shriners Hospitals going forward, or the Odessa Shrine Club?
I hope that we can reach out to more kids. I guess I'm kind of just looping back around to the same thing. I hope that every single different kid, that little girl that's 3 years old not knowing that she's different, I hope that we can help every single different kid and raise awareness to their parents, because whenever I was born, my mom thought it was her fault that I ended up the way I ended up, and truth be told, it's not genetic. Half the stuff that happens to kids at the Shriners Hospital isn't because of genetics. It just happens, and that the Shriners helped a lot with my mom and dad as well, just to teach them that it's not their fault. Like, there are supporters too. My mom and dad are some of my biggest supporters. The Shriners are my second family. I know I can talk to any of those guys in those funny hats and know that they're going to be there, because that's my family at the end of the day.
Well, I am so happy to have had you on. We're approaching kind of the final minutes here of this intermission, so I will unfortunately have to end our interview here, but maybe just one last, sign off if you want to give a shout out to anybody or final messages here before we kind of step aside before we get ready for the final period.
I guess I just want to say thanks to my mom and dad for getting me this far, and with the Shriners as well. All these Shriners out here that you see walking around, that's my family. They've helped me so much, and I wouldn't be who I am without them. A special thank you to Pat Bagley, because that's one of my most favorite and best Shriners out there. He's helped me through a lot.
And one final thing, how does somebody maybe reach out to the Odessa Shrine Club or Shriners Hospital? How can they maybe get in touch with you if they want to, maybe hear more about your story, or if they feel like maybe they know somebody that could also use some help?
Can I give them like my Facebook or something?
Yeah.
You can look me up on Facebook, Brianna Jewell. I'm blonde-headed. I don't know. You can just shoot me a DM or whatever if you have any other questions about the Shriners Hospital, about my story, about my testimony. I'm more than willing to share everything. If you guys just don't be afraid to reach out, whether it's to me or to a Shriner or to somebody else. Don't be afraid to say something.
Well, that was Brianna Jewell joining me here for the second period intermission. She dropped the ceremonial podcast. We have game 1 of 2 about to conclude here from the Ector County Coliseum on Shriners weekend. Again, the jerseys that the Jacks are wearing will be auctioned off with proceeds going to the Shriners Hospital for Children. That will take place tomorrow after the conclusion of game 2. We got about 5 minutes left in this intermission. I'm going to wrap things up and update some stuff on social media. Thank you again, Brianna, for joining us. And I'll be back in a little bit for the final period here from the Ector County Coliseum. Welcome back into the broadcast here on Hockey TV, as well as the audio-only feed over on the Jacks YouTube Live channel, as we get ready for the final period of regulation here from the Jack Shack in a 1-1 game between 6th place Amarillo. And technically, because of point percentage, the Jacks are in 5th, but they're tied with the Mudbugs in points for 4th place. Again, the Shreveport Mudbugs have played in one less game than the Jacks, as the Odessa Jackalopes win the opening draw of period number 3. Again, we have some 4-on-4 hockey, as Kristaps Skrastins and John Wojciechowski are both in the penalty box. And a late scrum in that second period, which led to those two. Tallene initially was in the box for the Jacks, and then it looked like maybe they were going to get more, but Wojciechowski replaced him as that one stretched across right in front of Odessa's bench. Remains in play, and a big hit thrown from Tallene as he absolutely sat down Bryson Russell. Played on back from DeMarco. I'll send it right to the stick of Logan Cleary on this 4-on-4 hockey. Over back to the near side for Kyle DeMarco. Will spin back the other way as he was being pressured by Hoyer. Left right to the stick of number 29, TJ Kufis. Back over to DeMarco, near side, backed off the boards and out to Cleary. Cleary, the right-handed forward, laces it deep as Kuwait bats it away on the far side. Hoyer applies some pressure. And the Jacks look to exit. They're able to do so. Devorny snaps it across. Kelly winds and fires one, catches the safety netting for a halt to play. 18:33 left to go here in the third period. Shots tied 22 apiece. And a 1-1 hockey game. 28 seconds left to go on the 4-on-4. As Wojciechowski's in the box for a cross-checking minor. And Kristaps Skrastins had a roughing minor. He practically threw down Trevor Tallene. Skrastins stands 5'11", 180 pounds. Jacks win it back up top. D to D, near side, top of the left circle. Devorny fires it. They try a redirect down in front from Kusler, and it doesn't go. Just slid off the left side past Clafton. Wranglers fire one, kicked aside by Proctor. Odessa, if they can hurry, will have numbers. Far side. And back checking ferociously was Chase Davis as he threw Kusler into the linesman and the Wranglers bench. Davis with it now, near side. 6'4", 195 pounds. Gets around Kuwait. Back to even strength we go. Sofa with a lot of room. From the slot, fires, caught, rebounds loose. And the Wranglers make it 2-1. Right after the 4-on-4 expired. And it's none other than Kristaps Skrastins, goal number 31 for him in his final year of junior eligibility. A right place, right time moment for the Riga Latvia native as he continues his domination against the Jacks here this season. Now goal number 4 for him in 5 games played, point number 8 for the right winger. Near side. Played up from DeMarco. Pass Battaglia. Ahern tries to step up on the play. Long stretch pass, banks off the bench boards all the way down. Corralling it will be Bezic behind Clafton. 17:30 left to go here in period number 3. As it will roll back into the Jack zone. Both back pedaling with it. Forward pass right at the stick of Hughes, and launching it into the left glove was Ahern. As the play is blown dead, as Clafton will neglect to play it. 17:20 left to go here in this third period. Amarillo takes their first lead of the game. The score is 2-1.
We're looking for restaurant-grade equipment, large or small. Think commercial food service and equipment. The largest food service company in the Permian Basin. Equipment public 6 days a week. We're located in the heart of Odessa. Stop by. You can see our 10,000 square foot showroom at 1601 North Street.
Jacks trail for the first time here this evening. As they try to play back out in front for good. Unfortunately, it was too far behind him. And it's softly played forward by Amarillo. And keep it alive. Jensen, the captain, weaves it down low. First goal scorer of the game, Korshaletsky. And he's stripped of the puck as it's played out by Odessa. Play near side to Good. Good trying to send it on back to Hoyard as he gloves that one down off of a redirect. Yates is in after it. Amarillo will pick it up and play it out of their own zone. This has been a very tight contest between these two South Division teams. Haven't seen one another since the beginning of January. And the season series is split so far 2-2. Played back up top to Devorny. Across he sends it. Now waiting with it is Kuitt. Kuitt fires one, caught in the left glove by Clafton. And he'll gain the whistle with 16-17 remaining here in regulation. Again, some more things taking place at the Ector County Coliseum during this final homestand for the Jacks. As a Connor Hellebuck retirement night later on this month. And, of course, we will have senior night and fan appreciation night during the final weekend on April 1st and the 2nd when the Mudbugs come to town. On that far side, Duclair works it loose. Over to Kelly, out in the near side. Played deep against the boards by Amarillo. Duclair tangled up with the opposition. He gets loose over to the near side corner. He's pinned and held away from the frozen rubber as it's fluttered out. And now after it are the Wranglers. TJ Kufis plays it out in front. That one bounces right past Proctor. He got a piece of it. And a shot from the left circle beat Proctor. It's a 3-1 Wranglers lead. After CJ Zezma, I should say. And some puck luck on his side. Proctor made that initial read, but could not stop the momentum from getting past them. And the Wranglers are up by a pair. So after a 1-1 start for this third period, within the first 5 minutes, it's been 2 goals for Amarillo, 3 unanswered. Jacks head fake to the near side. Quickly played forward. Sent to the right wing. They enter far side. A shot hit a stick in front, stays wide of Clafton, rifled off the plexi, out to Jack Kristen. And his play deep is intercepted by Bezic. Jacks patiently waiting behind Proctor as they will leave it for Wojciechowski. Jacks trail 3-1 now. Here in period number 3 with just over 5 minutes elapsed. A long stretch pass does not connect and icing will be called. When tied after 2 periods of play, Amarillo is 1-4 and the Jacks are 7-1-0-1. But right now it is favoring the visiting team as they've scored 3 straight on Alex Proctor. Hughes lost it below the goal line from the right circle. Will pass it back up top. Saved by Proctor. Will come out aggressively. Will gather the save. And Tallene and Scrastons jawing at one another. The rivalry will continue on tomorrow, 7:15 p.m. puck drop here from the Ector County Coliseum as Scrastons now goes back after this time Justin Hughes. As there's a lot of words being spewed from players of both sides. with 14:33 left to go here in regulation. Nothing comes of it. Scraston heads back to the bench. Again, he gets targeted a lot no matter who he plays. And just because of the production that he puts up. Kind of like how a lot of teams will also kind of keep their eye on Chris Duclair as he leads the team in points with 32. Banked off the end boards all the way over to the far side. Justin Hughes in after it. Good defense by Trevor Tallene as he had to let go of his stick to avoid a penalty. Near side for Ahern. Ahern sends it back down low for Purdy, and they try to muscle it home, and it stayed wide. As Kuwait races after it from his own zone. He'll weave his way around from far to near. He'll chip it off the boards and will slide over to the far side. Good maneuver from Ahern, but he lost his edge, or Purdy, I should say, as he lost his edge in the process. As now Ahern heads to the bench. Near side for Russell. Russell sends it over right into a waiting Purdy and stick. And offside, I believe, will be called. With 13:43 to go here in period number 3. Amarillo 3, Odessa 1. The offside call, but they're going to drop the puck at the center ice dot. No goal was scored. Again, the Wranglers for the longest time were in a playoff spot and really dominating the South Division in 2021. But hit a lull in 2022 with an 11-game losing streak, but their domination in 2021 has kept them in playoff contention, and a big hit thrown from the Army commit Dane Hoyer in the right circle. Played back up top. It bounced too much for Devorny as he now has to pancake it down and lace it into the left corner. Good, in after it. Unable to stick lift Matt Delaney as he will just send it out past the red line. Icing is waved off as Proctor comes out to settle it down. Nate Boak with it. Boak enters the neutral zone, gains the red line, fires it into an enemy glove, and it's played near side and out by Amarillo. As it looks like there was an offside call and a little extracurricular as there's mayhem right now on the near side boards at the top of the left point of the Wranglers zone, and everybody is trying to pair up. I think Hoyer had got hit from behind. He comes back up, and now he's trying to find whoever hit him in the numbers. Some players still tangled up. It's right up against the boards. One Wrangler player without his helmet. That's Kufis as he gets back to 2 feet. 12:46 left to go in the third, and Kufis immediately escorted to the sin bin. And we'll see who will go for the Jacks. Their door is open automatically. Looked like Queerd had went back over to talk to a Wrangler player. And that was number 18, Drayton Todorov. Back here actually will skate the other way to go sit. And it looks like we will just have some offsetting penalties. Kufis screaming as he opened the door himself at the referee. And back here in the box for Odessa, Frank Devorny coming over to try to get the official ruling from the referee. Jensen makes his way back to the bench to tell his head coach, Harry Mahood, what he was told from the referee. As now Devorny will do the same with head coach Scott Dewar. Nothing has been put up on the scoreboard here at the Jack Shack. 12:46 left to go in the third of a 3-1 Wranglers lead. So 4-on-4 hockey. as it will just be some more offsetting penalties. The second time this evening we've had 4-on-4 hockey. There's a roughing call on Kufis. I couldn't quite hear what it was on Bankier. Almost can assume it's going to be a roughing as well, as it's played forward to Duclair. And it's sent away from him as Scrastons turns and looks at him, maybe chirping at him on the way back as Wojciechowski picks it up and weaves his way as he tries to maybe go end-to-end with it. Near side pass for Duclair. He'll turn on the Jets. Now hit the brakes. Trying to play it back into the left circle for Manzo. Broken up by Amarillo and cleared out. Prohorenkovs circles all the way over. Now it's Scrastons. Scrastons tries to sidestep around. Tall lead through the crease out the other way. It's played. And now onto the stick of Duclair. Great defensive work by Odessa. Duclair cuts in from left to right. He'll twist and turn his way. Send it back on the outside of the net. Plays it out in front and right to a Wrangler skate. As Manzo tangles it up a little bit, but the Wranglers will pick it up. Just 60 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey with 11:45 left to go here in the third period. Again, only one of the previous 4 games between these two teams was decided by 1 goal. There's been some lopsided games between these two teams as Cleary with it from the left circle, shovels it well wide of Proctor over to the near side. Left on back from Kuwait to Devorny, the captain with it. He'll wind his way back behind Proctor, sidesteps near side. Head forward, looking for options, sends it over to a waiting J.R. Purdy, and Purdy will hit the brakes. Find Kuwait. Kuwait winds fire, saved by Clafton. Devorny tries to bank it off of him, unable to do so. And the puck bounces over to the near side. Settled down below the goal line by Kyle DeMarco. Sent all the way forward right past Korshaletsky, and icing will be called. 10:55 left to go here in the third, and 10 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey. As Bankier and Kufis are eager to get out of the box and rejoin their team. And it will be an offensive zone draw for Odessa, near side circle. Broken up in the circle from the slot. Jacks have it. They gently push it towards Clafton, who's able to stick it to the corner. And Kufis and Bankier out of the box. However, the puck will not stay in enemy territory for Odessa. As now Jack Kristen has to race the other way. He's in along the left wing wall. He fires one off the side of Clafton's net over to the far side corner, and it's dug out by Amarillo. It bounces all the way down as Boak has to turn on the Jets. He's being pursued by Ian and Carney, and he'll leave it on back now for Kusler as it's sent to the right wing. Tipped past the red line by Odessa. Icing is waved off. Kusler gets to it first. He's pinned up against the boards by Jaden Jensen, and it's lobbed off the glass and back out to the red line as twisting it deep was Wojciechowski. As we just have 10 minutes left to go here in the third period. Jacks have it on the far side, unable to feed it to Begier in the slot. As Hughes had his shooting and passing lane negated. Played over to the near side for Davis. Davis tries to cut away, and he collides with Proctor out in front. Proctor a little slow to get back up. He has to maybe fix the net as well. Behind him, no call on the play as the 6'4", 195-pound centerman just bulldozed his way through Proctor's crease. The puck remained away as it's in the Wrangler zone. Onto the stick of Matt Delaney. They'll feed it along the left wing. With it is Price. Price will pirouette the other way with it. As the Jacks are applying the pressure, they get a shot blocked from Frank Devorny. And now the Jacks cut through the logo. Good dangle from Hughes. Hughes from the left circle, he finds it just wide and through the crease. Hughes again with a blast. That one hit a body in front. And now the Jacks are having the back pedal. However, Price will fire one from the neutral zone. Punched to the boards by Proctor as the Wranglers are in the process of getting some new lines out on the ice as Kuit tries to fire it deep in the enemy territory. Unable to do so. Settled down and then fired off the windshield by Good. Right in front of the off-ice officials, it's played by Korshalensky. Across it now will sit and rings iron for Scrastons. As he's trying to get his second of the evening, as it's covered up by Proctor with just 8:21 left to go here in the third. And we'll have a media timeout here from the Ector County Coliseum. And just about 8 minutes left to go here in the third period. The big storyline is the 2 goals in this period within the first 5 minutes for Amarillo. Not only that, but 3 unanswered for them. In the game 2 last weekend against Shreveport, the Jacks had a 1-0 lead after the first period of play and then had 4 goals in a row go against them off of Mudbug's sticks. And then neither team was able to score in the third period, which resulted in a 4-1 final. So the Jacks right now have to dig deep for this next 8 minutes and change here in regulation. You can see head coach Scott Dewar fired up during this media timeout, knowing that his team is not out of a playoff spot by any means, especially regardless of how this weekend goes for them, but it will make matters worse, and especially the task to clinch that much more difficult if they are unable to leave this weekend with at least 3 points. Both teams trying to pick up a weekend sweep. Right now, the Wranglers in a driver's seat with a 3-1 advantage on the score sheet. 8:21 left to go in regulation. It's an offensive zone draw for Amarillo. Far side, Logan Cleary loses it to Dane Hoyer. Played forward to Good. Good tries to flip it around the opposition. Knifed behind Bonk. And a shot hit a body in front off of Zezma, and some more altercation going on. A Wrangler player sent down on a heap to the ice, and everybody is kind of trying to pair up. There's a little bit of a scrum going on right now between a Jackalope and a Wrangler player, but gloves are still on, as well as a Jackalope helmet, as Bonk is quickly escorted to the penalty box, as well as a Wrangler player. There was a shot from Zezma well after the whistle, and Kufis in the mix of things during that altercation with Dane Hoyer, as Kufis once again lost his lid, per se, for the second time in these scrums, as Hoyer, the Army commit, will head to the box, as will Kufis once again, as he's trying to plead his case to the ref. Actually, it looks like he won't get anything for his altercation with Hoyer. And it looks like the Jacks will be coming away with this with 1 fewer players on the ice than the opposition, as they have 2 in the box compared to Amarillo's 1. There was a Wrangler player that got sent down to the ice. I would say he dropped pretty quickly. I couldn't tell which Jackalope player it was, as there was kind of a mix of them in that far side circle of Odessa's zone. But no punches were really thrown and no gloves were dropped. Again, there's 8:11 left to go here in the third period. These two teams haven't seen one another since January 7th and 8th. It is a 3-1 Wranglers lead, as they are going to bring somebody over from the Wranglers bench. It was a shot again from CJ Zezma, who has and they have the wrong name listed on the Wranglers sheet. Number 37 is not Carson Gilling, it is CJ Zezma on the league site, so that has to be fixed. Penalty box door is open for the Wranglers, but no one has made their way across the 85-foot distance from bench to box. 29 in the box. 2 minutes on the board for Nate Boak. Hoyered in as well for Odessa, As now it looks like Zezma will make his way to the box for Amarillo. As there's still one more. And they actually hadn't put anybody in the box for Amarillo as far as I can see. That was, Zezma was the first person in. And now he's back out again. I got 2 in the box for Odessa and a 2-minute minor up on the board, but nobody for Amarillo. Sorry, just conferring with the broadcaster for Amarillo real quick, as now they send over Kufis, who recently went in, then left. Zezma came over, who took the shot after the whistle after Wranglers went offside. He then left back to the bench. And there's just a whole lot of confusion, not just from the officials, but also, I'm sure, from a coaching perspective and from a broadcasting perspective. They put 2 minutes on the board for Dane Hoyer, as it should be a power play opportunity for the Wranglers, and it is. They have the 8th best power play in the league, and they are 0 for 1 so far. So offsetting minors between Kufis and Nate Boak. Kufis in the box for the second time here this period, as now the Wranglers will come out from their own zone. They bank it off the bench boards in an attempted manner. Prohorenkops tries to send it out in front. It's loose, saved right past Proctor. He got a piece of it. Playing back up top to Russell. You could see that was a set play from Amarillo, as 4 of them came out from behind Carter Clafton, and 1 stayed right in front of the Jacks bench on that far blue line side. Russell. That's the play at near side. Passed on back to Prohorenkops. He's got 15 power play assists entering this weekend matchup. Scraston's with 14 power play goals. He leads the league. They send it down low. Back over to Korsheletsky, Ukrainian native, with a lot on his mind. He has a goal already from the left circle. They fire one off the end wall, and it's lobbed out by Frank Devorny. As changes are coming on the fly for both teams. Under 7 to play here in the third. 45 seconds left on the 2-minute minor for Dane Hoyer. I believe it was called for roughing, as it was him and Kufis that were tangled up. Duclair comes away with it. Duclair from the slot. Plays it out in front. They score! Chris Duclair puts it right back in the crease for Mike Manzo to tap it home. And they pull within 1 here. A short-handed tally for the Odessa Jackalopes. Mike Manzo gets goal number 13 of his NAHL career in game number 120. 6:42 left to go here in regulation, and that's exactly what the Jacks needed. I believe it will be credited to Manzo. Clafton came away from that near side post, and Duclair was able to thread that needle between the post and Clafton. Manzo at that top of the crease within the blue paint, and it redirected off of something and past the goal line. Great vision from that penalty killing unit, and the Jacks doing a tremendous job so far of trying to work their way back into a tied hockey game. I believe it will go to Mike Manzo, a shorthanded tally for the Troy, Michigan native. However, the Wranglers still on the man advantage for 32 seconds. Clafton settles it behind his own cage. Right back after it is Manzo, played to Duclair from the slot, broken up and gathered and played out by Bezic. That penalty kill unit of Manzo and Duclair, ever so dangerous. There's a delayed call coming up, and just steamrolling the opposition was Trevor Tallene on that far side. It was a delayed call, I think, against Odessa, as the Wranglers had possession when they rimmed it around the yellow trim to the far side. And this could be a 5-on-3 man advantage for the Wranglers. Devorny makes his way over to the penalty box. And it will go against Chris Duclair. That is just the 10th shorthanded tally of the season for the Jacks. Mike Manzo from Chris Duclair, as the RIT commit now has to sit. He got a double minor for high sticking. Oh man, this is dangerous for the Jacks. Hoyard about to hop out of the box in 8 seconds, but then it's going to be a very lengthy penalty kill for the Jacks as they face one of the top 10 power play units in the NAHL.
Odessa Jackalopes penalty, number 26, Christian Duclair. 4-minute double minor for high sticking. And that penalty, 13:22.
Offensive zone draw for the Wranglers. It's a 5-on-3 power play for 8 seconds. And then there was a double minor. Slid near side to Skrastix. Winds and fires one. And it bounces all the way back out to the neutral zone. Hoyer trying to chase after it near side. Played on back to Skrastix. So 5-on-4 for 3 minutes and 40 seconds. As Duclair had a double minor for high sticking. There's just under 6 to play here in the third. The Jacks had a shorthanded goal just a little bit ago thanks to Mike Manzo. That ended 3 straight for Amarillo. Skrastix had that one roll right past his tape over to the near side corner. 3 Wranglers in after it. Jacks trying to waste some time, but also maybe try to get their 11th shorthanded goal to be able to tie the game as Mansfield backhands it deep and he'll head the opposite direction for a change. Trying to flip it the other way was Kelly. Purdy turns and fires one, caught just to the left of him in the glove by Clafton with under 3 to play, under 3 minutes left on the Duclair double minor. As Boak will now exit the penalty box, so just one in for either side. 5:17 left to go in regulation. 30 shots for Odessa, 29 for Amarillo. Again, one differential for goals and shots so far. This is the biggest penalty kill so far of the game for Odessa, this 5-on-4. The Jacks have to make sure they get at least to that 2-minute mark because the Wranglers could score on this one and then will still be on the power play for that second half of the double minor. As Kelly tries to force Bezic to move it. He'll enter enemy territory. Bezic far side with it. Running out of real estate, passes it over to Price. Near side half wall, top of the right circle. Price across, he sends it out in front And it will stay wide of Proctor and cleared all the way out from J.R. Perdian. As the Wranglers trying to go circle to circle here on this power play opportunity. They're 0 for 2 so far on the man advantage as it's picked off by Kuwait and lobbed deep. 4:30 left to go here in the third. 2:10 remaining. And one Duclair's a double minor for high sticking. Play near side to Scrastons. Scrastons with it. Leave it into the right circle for Carney. Carney softly plays it to the top of the left point from high to low. Pass from Prohorenkov's broken up. Knife to loose. Prohorenkov's regains it, sends it down low. Scrastons circling the near side, but it's played to the top of the blue line. Now over to Scrastons, near side. Scrastons waits with it. Inside that right circle, passes it back up top to Russell. Across they send it, left circle. They fire one, caught in the left glove by Proctor, and no rebound this time, robbing the opposition with 3:48 left to go here in the third. And a minute 30 left. Just 90 seconds of penalty kill time for the Jacks. As Amarillo leads by 1 on the score sheet, 3-2, and in shots, 31-30. Wranglers trying to get into a playoff spot. Jacks, again, as Shreveport still has one game in hand on Odessa, but the Jacks trying to get back in the win column or at least snap this 5-game losing streak a season high. As they back it off the bench boards all the way deep into enemy territory. Gathered at the red line and then launched deep by Bankier. Played over near side to Jensen, the captain, having trouble playing it as Kusler's in his grill hole. Playing over to a waiting Bezic as it's laced over along the left wing. CJ Zezma trying to send it along to Kufis, broken up by Odessa on the far side. Softly played back to the blue line. Near side now to Jensen, the captain. Winds, fires one, rebounds loose, and played off the outside net on the near side. Wranglers with it. All the way back up top, they send it. Now to the right circle. Zezma back up top. Jensen fans on it, and he broke his stick in the process. And now the Jacks can hurry the other way. An on-man rush. Dropped it back. Kusler, Bezier, across to the slot. Kusler unable to pull the trigger as there's 20 seconds left on the kill. And now it's a 4-on-2 for the Wranglers. Left back from Kusler. Kufis, across they send it. And no one was home in a white jersey as the linesman picked up the loose stick. Just 2 seconds left. Duclair about to hop out of the box. A great kill by the Jacks as they kill off the double minor. Duclair races 85 feet the other way. Tallene unable to bat it down. Keshelevsky with it, and his pass across to Prohorenkovs does not connect as Scrastons tries to twirl it deep. Tallene with it. Tallene finds Hughes. Hughes enters top of the right circle, and Perdian just has to bat it deep. Brushing around the yellow trim, under 2 to play here in the third. Played back up top. DeVorney, net is empty. Proctor's to the bench. A 6-on-5 for the Jacks. They have it from the slot out in front. Puck is loose. Somehow it stayed out. Oh, it was sitting in the blue paint on that near side post. Kuwait with it. He'll dance below the goal line. Fires one, punch to the corner by Clafton. Jacks have it, near side corner. Unable to keep it alive as it will escape back out to the neutral zone. DeVorney all the way back in his own end. Right wing. Plays it right into a body in front. Backhanded deep, but Kuwait's there. Near side. Over to Hughes. They're on side. Hughes with it. Hughes stick handling. Looking for help. Sends it right into an enemy stick. Twisted on back. It will dribble all the way over to the far side. Kuwait has it. 60 seconds left to go in regulation. Wojciechowski flips it past one and will give chase. Directly behind Clafton. It's pinned. 32 shots for Amarillo. 31 for Odessa, the difference maker. Wranglers up 3-2. That one pivotal shot. Jacks trying to knife it loose. They have it against the trim. They try to play it out in front. It's poke checked over to the near side. Sent to the blue line. Now to Perdian. Left circle. Hoyert fighting for it out in front. That one will flutter off the outside below the safety netting, stays in play off the initial shot from Ahern. Jacks come away with it. Back to Ahern. He winds, fires one, backhand and out in front. Puck is still loose, and it's finally blown dead by the referee as there's some more pushing and shoving going on after with 19.8 seconds left to go in regulation. Absolute mayhem here from the Ector County Coliseum and a nail-biter of a game between 5th place Odessa and 6th place Amarillo. As the Jacks were almost able to tie it up, maybe about an inch away from that one crossing the goal line just a few seconds ago. Game 2 tomorrow, 7:15 p.m. Central Time. Same place here at the Jack Shack. Again, following the game tomorrow, there will be a live jersey auction in the concourse right by the front doors. 19.8 seconds is up on the clock. 3 goals on the board for Amarillo. They had went 3 unanswered on Alex Proctor, 2 in this third period within the first 5 minutes. The Jacks have fought back, but they still trail by 1 with the net empty 200 feet the other way. And a timeout taken by Scott Dewar. Possibly trying to force overtime for the second time in the season series. This has been an intense 5th game between these two teams. A lot different than previous games during this season series. Again, one of the games, the opener, the Wranglers put up 8 goals on the Odessa Jackalopes. So to have this at a 3-2 differential, of course, the Jacks 53 points, trying not to give any to the Wranglers, who sit at 49. A win here will put them at 51 points, 2 back on Odessa, and will give the Wranglers their 24th win of the season. It would put the Jacks on a 6-game losing streak, and of course, this is not the time not only to be losing games, but of course not getting any points. Like I had said early in the broadcast, getting the point is at least the bare minimum, and losing in regulation to a team that is trying to catch up to you is certainly not the result that you want. But of course, there is a game 2 tomorrow. It's an offensive zone draw. Far side circle to the glove hand of Carter Clafton, and we'll have to wait a little bit longer, as it looks like there's going to be a timeout taken by Amarillo. Well, back-to-back timeouts here from the head coaching staff of both teams. Kind of a chess match here. Fans are on their feet from the Ector County Coliseum. As again, there's just under 20 seconds left in the third, and I mean, you really should rewind that one back a little bit ago, maybe whenever this game ends, whether that's in regulation or overtime or shootout. But the Jacks were oh so close to tying it up in that mad scramble in Clafton's crease. And the referee was in prime position for that, saw it almost hug that near side right post. Neither team with a timeout left. 19.8 seconds left to go here in the third and final period. Jacks trail 3-2 as they are trying to stay in the hunt for a playoff spot. They entered tied with Shreveport at 53, 3 ahead of Wichita Falls. They knife it back up top. Duclair with it. He'll fire one. Deflects off the end boards. Jackson after it. Behind the net. Jacks with it. Playing it out in front. They shoot. Blocked out in front. That one will be caught in the left hand of Carter Clafton through a tremendous screen. As there was a mix of Wranglers and Jackalopes players trying to block his vision with 7.6 seconds left to go. 35 shots for Odessa, 32 for Amarillo. It's an offensive zone draw still. Nobody hardly sitting here at the Ector County Coliseum. Draw to the near side circle. Blocker hand of Clafton, as he looks to go 5-1 in his last 6 games. Again, recently acquired from Minot to assist in the kind of derail Max Guchar, who's backing him up. Jacks win it. Devorny, one last shot. Opportunity. They fire it across. Played out in front. They back it off the outside of the net. 2 seconds left. It's muscled out in front from the crease. And the whistle blows. And a little extracurricular. And a haymaker elbow thrown from Scrastons. Right on J.R. Perdian. The Riga, Latvia native throwing a UFC elbow after the whistle on a Jackalope player, and that will do it for 60 minutes of play. The Wranglers take game one by a score of 3-2, and if there's anything that final altercation kind of gave you a sense at home, you're not going to want to miss game two tomorrow, 7:15 p.m. The Jacks currently on a 6-game losing streak, 0-5-0-1. This one the closest, though, during this recent losing streak for them, as the Wranglers now head on to a 3-game win streak. And they close within 2 points of the Jacks. A 1-goal differential game, and the shots favored Odessa at the end there, roughly around 35. There was so much traffic on one of those final shots from Odessa. They were winning those offensive zone draws in those late stages where they had to, with Proctor out of the net. They didn't give up an empty net goal. However, they did not tally one, as it remained a 3-2 score throughout the duration of that 6-on-5 man advantage for the Jacks. Again, he had been pulled for about 2 minutes or so. And the Jacks did a great job again of winning those offensive zone draws where they had to, coming out of the timeouts. But unfortunately, were held off the score sheet. They had their fair share of scoring opportunities. And game number 2 tomorrow is sure to be a tremendous matchup. It will be game number 6 of 8 between these two teams. It's win number 24 for the Wranglers and loss number 20 in regulation for the Jacks, as they now are 0-5-0-1 on this 6-game losing streak. And the Wranglers win their 14th on the road. The Jacks are now 12-8-1-2 as the home team, and they go to 18-8 when scoring the game's first goal. Well, tune in tomorrow. Same time, same place here for the wrap-up of this weekend series, meeting number 6 of 8 between these two teams. A few scrums throughout game number 1, especially with that altercation at the end and that big elbow thrown from Scrastons, catching a Jackalope player right around maybe the visor or jaw area. Nothing, I don't think, came of it, but I saw it from well away, all the way in the broadcast booth. So it's going to be a feisty game number 2 tomorrow. Get your tickets in advance, and the Jacks have a live jersey auction tomorrow after the game. They fall to the Wranglers by a score of 3-2, and they now trail in the season series 2-3. We'll see you tomorrow for game number 2, 7:15 p.m. puck drop here from the Ector County Coliseum. UTPB night, $5 tickets for students and staff, and of course the live jersey auction after the game tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.